Okay, we're finally getting some parts coming in. Got this Dorman. Got the control arm. That'd be the rear control arm. We're working on the worst ones first. This one under here, I got it jacked up a little bit. Get this tire off here. Get this tire off here and I'll be right back. This is how I'm getting that little bolt off the stabilizer link. Gotta have a little Allen wrench. 15 millimeter. Should have brought me some penetrant. Make it a whole lot easier. Alright, gotta get back after it. Okay, got it all taken off. Two pieces right here. That's fun getting that little one on. Must have been on the wrong bolt or something. I couldn't get it to. Kept turning and turning on it. Finally figured out I was on the wrong bolt, I guess. I don't know. Well, we'll get the new part in and we'll see what we can do here. If you're doing this job, then you need to do it in order, or you're gonna fight it for an hour. Ask me how I know. Connect this one in first. Then your strut, and then this one out here. This will still be loose, this part out here. It'll be loose enough to be able to line it up. And then connect your sway bar link. That's the way you do it. I put it in this one, and it took me a long time to get that one in. Couldn't get it lined up right. So, lessons learned. Stick that one in first, then your strut, and then your caliper. Very easy that way. Okay, we've got that side done. Let's start working on this side. It don't matter how you take it off as long as you get it off. That thing is really wrinkled in there. I see the sway bar link is disconnected off of that one. May have to get a new one of them. I don't know how bad it is. I'll have to check it out. So I'll get the wheel off of there and get it jacked up and get this thing off of there. I'll be right back. Well, before I get all this pulled apart, I'll show you some more damage here. Whatever, that trailing arm, I don't remember what that is. This one right here is all bent up. This dust shield's all messed up. I get that off there. Okay, here's where we're at. Look like I got that one kind of in a twist. This upper control arm is fine. These two bottom ones are twisted up. See that top one there? Both these on order. They're on the way. Yeah, you can see I got liquid wrench on it, so they ought to be coming off not too hard. But I got this thing out here in a bind big time. This strut right here is in a bind with the lower control arm. I can't get it off. So what I'm gonna have to do is take these bolts out, take them bolts out, pull that strut out, and get all that carnage out of there. I want to get this thing all tore down and get all the broken parts out of there today, I hope. And I got to pull this backing plate right here. It's all bent. That's for the back of your brakes. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna start off taking this caliper off, and we're gonna move it over here out of the way, and gonna get that rotor off there. I got my star bit, so I can get that off of there. Let's see if I can't get that off there real quick, and see if we can't straighten that up. It don't look like it's too bad though, does it? This shield right here, I'm hoping I can straighten it out, because them things are expensive unless you buy the whole unit that comes with it, the hub and everything together. We get that off of there, we're going to inspect the back of it. We're going to make sure we don't have any cracks on any of the cracks on this spindle, right? The knuckle here. Got to make sure it's all good. No, I took on this project not because it's easy, but because it's hard. I mean, it's going to take, like you guys are putting in the comments. I appreciate your comments, by the way. And yeah, we're gonna try to get this Camaro back on the road, and somebody can enjoy it again. But let me see if I can't get this rotor off here real quick, and we'll come right back. Okay, got the rotor off there. Well, wasn't too bad. And the knuckle looks fine back there. Now I'm gonna work on getting 15 millimeters on the strut there. Get them out of there. Drop that whole thing down. I beat on that with a hammer right there. I can't get them separated. Yeah, that strut's shot right there. And I'll be getting a set of rear shocks. Not shocks, but the struts for this thing. Pretty shot. Everything is just so damaged, but like I told somebody down in the comments, it's just bolt-on parts. That's good. It's very little frame problems except for up front where the radiator's at, and I think I'm going to notch that out to make the radiator fit in there. came up with that idea. So if you can't bend it back down, I'm just gonna notch it out. There's a caliper up there. So we're making progress. Like that's about ripped off of there. Brake line there. Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to get this backing plate off of there. Call them dust shield or backing plates. That one's made out of real heavy metal, so I don't know if I can straighten that out or not. Them things are expensive, I know that. 50 bucks or more. Seen $100 on some of them. My word. So this back axle, I'm not sure if it's bent. Find out real quick when you take off, you're gonna definitely feel it. Go down the road, that thing's gonna be, you'll find that real quick before even 30 miles an hour. Looks like I'm gonna need a new boot back here on the axle bearing. Kind of like to pull this thing plumb out, but I don't remember if that's 22. I might have something that big. I was thinking it was bigger than that. Pull that whole thing out. I don't think I have any pullers that'll pull that out. Pull the whole bearing out. I don't want to pull the axle out, but yeah, let me work on this for a little bit. Let me get the bolts out of that. See if I can't like to get all this out of here, all that out of there, and start putting new back. And these two over here are on order, so we're gonna get as much done on the back as we can here. Then we're gonna abandon this and we're gonna go to the front, because we got all the linkages and inner and outer tie rods and all that came in. We're gonna start working on that. The steering knuckle should be in tomorrow, on Monday. So we're gonna make progress. Got some kind of critter up in there. Got this strut loose. Yuck. Okay, I'll jerk that thing out of there. Okay, I got all them parts off of there. Feel like I'm making some progress now, but I still got it back there with the wrenches on there. Well, it's still froze up. I can't even knock it out. So I put some liquid wrench on it and got to let it sit for a while. I can't. I banged on that thing so many times. Had to basically unload all the rocks before I get that strut out of there. That was fun. Look at all the crud up there. Had to pull all that out of there. My word. Yeah, I don't think my axle's bent. Find out when I start driving it. I sure wanting to get all these parts off of here today. All these bent up parts. But I'm making progress. It's just slow. I don't have an impact clear out here, out in the yard. So I just gotta deal with what I got. I done got that end of that thing flattened out. I beat on that wrench trying to break it loose, can't do it. So I don't know. I'll tell you what, trying to get that That thing's so bent in there. Couldn't hardly get it out of there. So I'm gonna have to get some rear struts for this thing. Them parts are on the way. I need to go ahead and order a strut, a couple struts. I'll have to redo the other side over there and put another strut in it, a new strut in it. But I think I'm gonna, about noontime, about break time, I worked on this for a couple hours. Just taking them 3 parts off right there. 2 hours to take them parts off. All them rocks was all piled up in there. You couldn't move the strut. Anyway, I finally got it. And that thing's so bent up that it's, yeah, it was crazy trying to get that out of there. About to get all these bent up pieces off there, and we're gonna make some progress. Get this thing back together. I think this is gonna be the hard part right here. I think this is gonna be the hardest wheel. Get up front, I think it's gonna be easy. A lot easier than this, I tell you what, this is crazy. Alright, I'm going for lunch. I'll be back after a while. Okay, I called it. Gonna have to abandon this one. That's all rusted in there. All rusted together. That bolt's all rusted inside of there on the old one. I can get it to turn, but it turns real slow, like it's turning the rubber part. So I don't think there's nothing I can do with it. So gonna have to torch it out. Gonna lose a bolt. Gonna have to get a torch and cut all that out of there and not mess up my each side there. I have to find me another bolt, but it's got to continue. This is the trouble I'm having with this car, but it's been a pain. If I gotta take this thing to the next town, I'll find me a torch. Good thing it's still on the trailer, huh? I'll just have to tie it down with no wheels on there. Oh my. Might be a little bit more. I guess I could tie it through the... It's a little bit more of a challenge to tie it down without no wheels on it. So I don't know, I might have to bring a torch here. Or real slow locally. Alright, we're gonna move to the front. Gonna rip all that out of there, because the new parts will be in tomorrow. The steering knuckle will be in tomorrow, maybe. We'll start tearing the front end out. Okay, I got the brake caliper off on the front here. This is the front driver's side. Can't get the rotor off. It's rusted on. I got that side loose, and I got this side loose. And I haven't got a wrench for this one yet. So if I can't get it off, we'll just change out the struts too. New struts all the way around. Looks like it probably might use it. I don't know about them cheap struts though, but I'll tell you what. Well, I'll keep going at it. Get some of these off. Need to pull that inner tie rod out right there so we can be ready for tomorrow. Get that boot off there and get that thing taken out. Get all this out of the way and I'll get right to it. Okay, about an hour later, got that thing out. Yeah, I was gonna say, if I had recorded every bit of that, you guys would be so bored. I just kind of record the highlights of the day. That's nice getting that out of there. Never could get the brake rotor off, so I can throw it on the ground and beat on it good now, I guess. Or I can just get another one. Let's see, where was that thing broke at? Down in here somewhere. Yeah, right there. All busted right there. It's gonna be going back with all new parts. So in the morning, we're gonna work on getting that inner tie rod, getting that swapped out. I may go ahead and see if I can't pull that out tonight. If I do, I'll let you know. Be nice to get all the old parts off of here. I don't know about that. This here sway bar there looks like it's pretty beat up. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. That's gonna be fun getting out of there. Get another one. Them thing's $150. Well, I'll see if I can't get this thing out of the way and get in there, get that inner tie rod taken off. Then we'll bring all of our new parts out tomorrow and get all them sorted out. Left side, right side. I'll be back shortly. Okay, the next day. Today we're supposed to be rebuilding this whole front end here with all new inner and outer tie rods, all your control arms and A-arms and all that stuff. But we found more damage. We found the steering rack is completely busted out. So we got to pull that out today. What I'm gonna do, I got to get up to that right up there. See that rod right there, that spot right there. Take that off, get this whole steering rack out. What we're gonna do first, we're gonna loosen it up. I'm gonna loosen that up there, loosen all this up. I want to make sure I can get it square again. If it's square, it don't look like this frame down here is bent. It's just this piece right here on the end. See, I'm gonna take and notch that down, cut that straight down and back into it, square it up where that radiator sit down in there. Being I can't bend that back down unless you had can't afford a frame machine. Them guys make the big bucks, and so I think it'd probably be cheaper just to buy a new subframe for this thing. But I ain't going there either. But we got both motor mounts. Got one in and one on the way. Be a good time to get this done too. Get the motor mounts put in. Well, we got all this stuff out of the way. But we got to get this rack out of here. See what kind of rack we have. Let's see, I want to get one exactly like it. Don't remember how the lines was going in. One going in the front of it. Get the rack completely out. Then we can see what we got. Now we get one just like it. I'll just buy a used one. Get it for about $150, $125. Get it on the way. Yeah, I was having trouble getting this ball joint, or this getting this knuckle, getting this inner tie rod put in. We're also going to take out the this right here, the sway bar. Let's see if we can't get that out of there today. If I can get to them bolts back there. That one's way back in there. So we'll see what we can do. Let me get that steering rack out of there. It ought to be pretty easy to get that. Ought to be pretty easy to get to them motor mounts. Get all that stuff out of the way. I'm going to take every advantage I can. If I can get all this stuff out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and put in the motor mounts. Enough rambling on. We got to get this thing pulled out. So I'll get gotta get this done. There's no way that I would not take this advantage of getting this out today and rebuilding all this front end here, then having all this stuff back in the way. Right now will be the time to get it done. With all this stuff out of the way, it'll be the easiest time to get it done. It's okay, let's get it done. I'll be back here shortly. But I got another idea. I got a air chisel. We're gonna try on that. Before we pull this out, we're gonna fire up I got a little pancake compressor, air chisel. We're gonna see if we can't get that bolt. It's all froze up in the back there. So we'll work on that real quick. Got this little Blue 80 and a little pancake compressor here. Gonna see if we can't get this. Got a air chisel. Let's see if we can't get that. Show you this motor mount real quick. See how cheap that's made? I mean, just it may be designed that way to keep from damaging your block, your engine, I don't know. It sure does look like it's awful cheap. Airplane flying over. Anyway, let's get this thing fired up. Try this thing out. give it a try anyway. Oh well. Couldn't be that lucky, I guess. Well, I got the bolts out of the other side, steering rack. Then I realized the motor without motor mounts, it's sitting on the steering rack by the way of the air conditioner compressor. See that bolt, how it's all wedged in there? So I'm done for the day. I can't do nothing else. I basically got to put in motor mounts next. I got one motor mount out a while ago. I think I'll work on getting this in here out. And I'm going to have new motor mounts because I tipped it out and the fluid started coming out of it. So it's going to take two rubber motor mounts, the big rubber part. So I might as well go in there and order them. So it's the car that keeps giving. I'll take that motor mount out and I guess I'm done for the day. Really ain't much I can do until I get I got a engine hoist support that goes across, you know, for engine leveling, that will help support the engine while I put in the motor mounts. That's on the way in, should be in any day now. So I need to get these rubber motor mounts ordered, get them on the way. I can't get this rack out of here until I get the engine supported, because it's sitting on the steering rack. There's no way to get it out. I mean, that thing is in there so tight. That might have been what busted out the steering rack, was that when that motor let loose, came down. It might have been what popped that day that I started it. It tweaked that motor and it fell down and might have popped these right here. I don't know for sure. Looks like a pretty clean break. So maybe I shouldn't have started it until I investigated more of the damage. Okay, I'm gonna get this other engine motor out. I'm gonna get this other motor mount out, and we gotta do motor mounts next. Get that thing up off the steering rack. So I do see what kind of I see where my lines are coming in on this thing now. So it gives me a little bit more confidence. It's coming one off the driver's side and one off the top there. I kind of see how it's made, and I'll be able to identify a little easier which rack that I have. I want to make absolutely sure I get the right one, where the lines be going in the exact same place. I don't want to have to reroute them to somewhere else. It's okay. I keep asking myself, will the bleeding ever stop? The bleeding of money? I don't know. I think we're in it too deep now. Can't stop now. But that, I sure was hoping that air chisel was going to work, but it didn't. So I was thinking about maybe getting a welder. I got a wire feed welder, and that metal is so thin on them bottom control arms that all I gotta do is turn it up, and I think I can just blow that metal out of there. Because it'd be crazy to have to try to weld that. It's so thin. So I think maybe I can maybe just get the wire feed welder, and I'm going to have to back this trailer right up to the garage so I can have my welder right on the house power. I do not want to run it on an extension cord. I'll burn the welder and the extension cord up. So I'm going to have to do that. I can be doing that while I'm waiting on parts to come in, and maybe start putting that rear end back together. There's always something I can do, I tell you. Always something I can do. But I'm going to leave this front end all apart until we get some of this up on here done. I guess I can start working on... I really don't want to move that though. I really don't want to mess with that rack, because I was thinking about maybe taking that connector off right there, off the steering wheel. But I really don't want to bother. I don't want that motor to be out on the... laying there on the trailer, because it's sitting there on the rack, and I better just leave it alone till I... In fact, I may even need to get the engine hoist, help support the engine before I even move the trailer again, because it's pretty serious. Okay, I think I'm going to close out this video. I'm going to go ahead and try to get that motor mount out of there. Go ahead and get them ordered. I think they're about $63 per pair of them. Gonna close out this video, and the carnage continues. Alright, thanks for watching. Okay, I hope this works. Impact on there. Oh no, what the world? There we go. If I can get a good bite on it. Probably can't. And I ain't got a wobbly either. My word, always something. I had to pull the axle out. That ain't gonna work. Oh man. Couldn't be on the other side. I think that would have worked. If I can order a 1/2 inch wobbly, might go see about that. I'm gonna do it. Well, we'll try this again. I'm gonna go in and order a 1/2 inch wobbly for this impact wrench. So we'll try it again.